Hi, I'm Berg Hansen. I'm a SQL developer, Oracle Ace Director. I'm here at my 10th Kscope, been part of the ODTUG community a while by now. But even so, this is the very first time I'm going to do an interview. And guess who I'm interviewing?
So hi, I'm Maria Colgan. I'm one of the product managers for the Oracle database team. This is not my 10th Kscope, but certainly perhaps my 7th or 8th Kscope. And of course, always with an interest towards SQL and the database.
And Kscope is a developer conference. And I'm kind of thinking, in this world we're in now with autonomous and cloud and whatever, the first thing that springs to mind as a SQL developer is, I don't need to worry about it because my SQL is the same whether it's in the cloud or not. But are there things that a developer should think different in this world than he used to do 10 years ago?
I think the core fundamentals remain the same. Whether a good schema design, reusable SQL where you're using buy-ins, all of those good behaviors remain the same. I think what changes as we move towards an autonomous cloud world is the simplicity. It actually becomes much easier for a developer. The autonomous database is an excellent platform for developers because they can instantly provision the database themselves. They don't need to wait on the IT group to provision hardware and install software for them. And the fact that it comes now pre-built with Apex and SQL Developer Web, they get that low-code development environment straight out of the box. They don't worry about connectivity, they don't worry about database security. They just start to build the application that they really need for their business. And they can just start doing that pretty much instantaneously as soon as the database is provisioned.
Yeah, so they can concentrate on the development part and all the rest is just taken care of.
Pretty much,
basically.
Yeah, out of the box, they get to focus on the fun and more important stuff.
Yep, that's pretty good. As a developer also, we are kind of used with SQL that the declarativeness of the language says that we just tell it what we want done and it takes care of how it's done and often rewrites things for us. I'm thinking autonomous, is that kind of a mindset that a DBA now should have, that I kind of just declare, I want these tables, I want that, and the rest is taken care of for me?
Actually, you're right. It's actually gotten much closer with the autonomous database to that same behavior for a DBA. The DBA tells us what type of database they want, whether it's transaction processing or it's a data warehouse. They tell us which region of the cloud they want it in and what size they roughly want it in terms of resources, some CPU and some storage to get going. And then Oracle just takes care of everything automatically for you. It'll provision the hardware, get all the software set up, it'll configure it for you and optimize it for your specific workload. So you're right, the DBA really just does the customization of that, so to speak. It tells us what they want and then we take care of it automatically for them. Down to even just the patching and update schedule, Oracle takes care of all of that automatically for them too. We take care of the backups, they happen on a nightly basis.
Yep.
So you're right, the DBA is now freed up to actually work more closely with developers on those applications that are needed for the business, maybe spend a little more time on the data modeling, on the data security, so that they can actually add more value to the business rather than on the mundane maintenance tasks.
Yeah, and as far as I know with the autonomous, there are many things that you can set up that it does it automatically if you want, or you could have it more advice that you can overrule now and again.
So for sure, some of the autonomous features that are inside Oracle Database 19c are set up exactly that way. One of those, of course, is the use of machine learning with automatic indexing, where we're going to monitor your workload, figure out whether or not there are any additional indexes that may help with that. Then not only do we identify them, but then we'll verify that the optimizer would really use it if that index existed, and that it would show benefit. It would actually improve the performance of the application. And that's where the choice comes. So all of that is common, but at this moment then you get to decide, am I okay trusting Oracle and letting them automatically publish those indexes to my application so that it can start taking advantage of those performance gain? Or would I rather let it stop at that point? Show me the report and let me make the final decision, go, no go on those indexes. So you're right, we're giving you that little bit of extra control just till people become comfortable with some of the machine learning automation that's going on.
Yeah. And that's for the special cases. Both DBAs and developers have this desire sometimes to tell the database, I know better. Like a SQL statement, we shove in a hint now and again, and
of course, yeah.
Different things like that. But in order to do that, developers as well as DBAs need to be aware of what automatic things can happen. And more things can happen as versions grow. What's the best way to keep up with what things may the database do automatically that I need to be aware of?
So ideally you shouldn't have to be aware. Ideally it should all just be happening automatically and all for the best. But obviously there are plenty of reporting tools. So the automatic indexing that I just mentioned there, you can generate, similar to an AWR report, a whole report about what it's been up to in the background. So what SQL statements has it looked at, what indexes has it proposed, and what was the benefit we got from those particular indexes, and which SQL statements saw that benefit and had a plan change. Mm-hmm. So we are aware that although it's nice to have all this automation, that it needs to be completely transparent. And so all the standard DBA views still exist. AWR reports are still available to you. This extra reporting for the automatic indexing, and that's something Oracle is going to continue to do as we go forward and introduce more and more automation into the optimization and the management of the database, just so that everybody knows what's going on. And you can set up alerts based on the events that are happening as well through your cloud console to be alerted if you didn't want to be constantly monitoring, to be alerted if something has happened.
Perfect. Then to wrap it up, is there anything, now that we have new releases so often, is there anything coming up in these automatic things that you are able to share?
I think right now automatic indexing is probably the most important one. And for most people, 19C is still the brand new release. They haven't had a chance to get there yet. So moving to 19C, you'll get that. Real-time statistics is another exciting enhancement that you'll also get if you move to 19C on the cloud or on Exadata on-prem, where as you do your DML operations, inserts, updates, and deletes, Oracle will be maintaining the statistics under the covers automatically for you. So big change on that one too. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for your time.
No.
It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of Kscope.
Thank you.